Okay, so thank you everyone for reconnecting yourselves. Okay, and now about Vygotsky, Lev Vygotsky. So as earlier I said about him, so he was totally associated with the constructivist theory. So constructivist theory, meaning of constructivist theory is, so when we are building something upon something or on over something, and that kind of idea is new, so we can say that constructivist theory, and that theory is applied for society or social life. So that's where it comes, social constructivist theory. So let's see his meaning and about the tools and many more things. Like, so like I have said earlier about the constructivist, what is constructivism. So if I just if the participants are able to remember about the definition, so we can find everything, actually everything is taken by reading their views, their theories. So I have applied that thought for making that definition. So like making meaning is first point. The community plays a central role and the people around the student greatly affect the way he or she sees the world. So making meaning. So like earlier I said you all, like a student or learner would make his or his own meaning, his or her own meaning. Like I say, 1 plus 1 equal to something new, and that one is 2. So that student or that learner is able to make new thought, then only that learner would be an active participant, unless that student or learner will not be, won't be. So his or her idea about the world would be new. Okay, and as I said, making new meaning. And number 2 by Vygotsky, tools for cognitive development. So what are the tools for cognitive development? As you all participants can see, so there are tools, even as we are all teachers, we know all that we learn something from our society, and society is the biggest tool. Society is the biggest tool for all of us. By realizing the society, we gain all our knowledge, or we build our knowledge based on the society. What kind of, whatever the society is, whatever someone's society is giving, so that learner would take that society only. If in any society someone is surrounded by trees, like trees, and totally in natural way that learner is living, so he would think in different way than the person who is living in a metropolitan city. So his thought, and a person who is living in the jungle type area, he would think in different way. So his culture, would be different. And even it plays also major role about the language. So language development is also plays a major role, like if we realize or if we observe, so which one is developed language? We can say in general way, we can say I want a glass of water. But if you say something in more pleasant way, then you can say, I would like to have a glass of water. So both of them are saying same meaning, but these sentences are exploring themselves in different way. So first one is undeveloped one. I want to have a glass of water. And the second one is more mature. So that kind of language is used by developed culture, developed society, and developed people. So language also plays different role. And important adults to the students. So even like the persons. So from a metropolitan city, if we get someone, some adult persons, then his behavior and who is living in natural way, his behavior must be different. So that person, like let's take A person is metropolitan and B person is living in village area or in natural place. So like he is close to the nature. So person B would worship the nature and person A would not worship the nature. His thought would be totally different. His ideas would be totally different. And that way we are having different thoughts, different cultures, different thought, different language, that way. Even, okay, more simple way we can say, so we are having some premium schools, colleges, universities, and there are plenty of like government funding schools. Let's take it, let's suppose it. So in government funding schools, so it is general conceptions. So teachers are not providing enough information to the students or being very boring or just unwilling to work. We are just supposing that one. But in premium schools, we are having like energetic teachers. So they teach students in energetic way, in fruitful manner. So over here also, we can see some kind of differences. So that government teacher is not providing information in developed way, but that premium school, that teacher is providing information in developed way, in more polite way. And after that, we are having 3 number, the zone of proximal development. So now the question is, what is proximal development? Problem solving skills of task. Like earlier I said you, problem solving Okay, like I said, problem solving skills of task can be placed into three categories. So those performed, like let's not categorize or divide that one. Otherwise, I won't be able to. Okay, I won't be able to provide my message to all of you. So that's why, in short, I'm describing that one. So, like said, the zone of proximal development. So problem solving, so like everyone, whenever some a constructivist is providing any kind of information, so at that time every single student in a classroom won't be able to have that information clearly, and some of them won't be able to understand, and if they understand, and they these students will think in different way, and some other students will think in different way, someone in wrong way, someone in okay average way, and someone is complex way, and someone is thinking in fruitful way, so someone is thinking in creative way. So whenever someone is thinking in creative way, so that would be fruitful idea. So that person or that student would be called an active participant or active student. Okay, so now let's discuss about the, as we are talking about the receiver of information. So as we know all that is totally student centric idea. So upon them, okay, from them only we have learned or we have created that idea, that constructivism. So we are having some traditional classroom and constructivist classroom. So what are the differences between two of them? Okay, let's know about that matter. Traditional classroom. So nowadays we are teaching students in different way. So it wasn't done earlier. So like 30 years earlier or 20 years earlier. So the more we grow, the more we are logical. So that's the fact, and by following that fact, we are just moving on like that only. So constructivist were thinking. Okay, let's know the traditional one and constructivist one. Okay, so traditional classroom life, students primarily work alone. So students primarily work alone. So it is also proven when a student is working upon anything, so that student is not capable of sharing his knowledge with other, or he would think in single way, so that because he is having only one mind. But if we come to the constructivist way, then what happens? Students primarily work in groups. So whenever many students are together or children are together, whenever they are sharing their thoughts, their ideas, their realizations together. So if there are 80 students, then they will have 8 minds, 8 thoughts they can share. So one student is having his own one idea, and other 7 students are giving to that student 7 ideas. In total, he is having 8 ideas, 8 thoughts. So his perceptions or realizations would be better than the one student, which was traditional classroom. And the number 2, curriculum is presented part of a whole with emphasis on the basic skills. So in traditional skills, curriculum is presented part of a whole. So it was totally everything whatever a student needs. And on the other hand, if we see, then we can see we would be able to curriculum is presented whole to part with emphasis on the big concept. So by part, it is divided for the enhancement of knowledge for the student. And the number 1, traditional classroom, strict adherence to a fixed curriculum. So whatever the curriculum was earlier, like 10 years earlier, we thought we made, or 30 years earlier, whatever we thought. So as we are just we are moving from one time to time, or we are just passing time, we are having new information. The way today we are thinking, okay, so whatever someone has thought 20 years earlier, so his thought we are using to the present day. So in that way we would be totally backdated, because I'm using one kind of information which is 20 years or 25 years old. But on the other hand, if we think in constructivist way, then I would go with the time, because 20 years earlier or 15 years or 25 years earlier, we hadn't that kind of internet facilities. So today we are having internet facilities. So we are thinking in open way, more liberal way. So whenever we need some kind of information, we are just opening or using internet and having our information. So what had happened earlier? So they need to have bought books for the information. So it's better to go with the present time. So that is what constructivist idea. So I thought to share more, but unfortunately, lack of time, I just cannot go on explaining. So today's webinar I would like to finish here. I'm sorry that I am unable to give my message to all of you. If you want to have some more knowledge about constructivism, then you can go to these references to enhance your knowledge. And thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. And thank you, respected principal sirs and my technical team, and that is Raghavendra Ranjan sir and Ajit sir. Thank you very much again everyone for giving me that opportunity, and I really feel very privileged by you all. Thank you everyone.